Our Parenting SOS this Monday takes us back to the events in Las Vegas with details all over TV, the images and social media. Kids certainly will be saddened by the news, just like all of us. So how do you find the words to talk about it, make them feel safe again? Dr. Robin Henderson with Providence Behavioral Health joins us to kind of take up that subject. And it's a tough one, Doctor. Welcome. Thank you, first of all, for coming in. I guess do you look at it in terms of age of your kids and what you share?
Absolutely. If you've got little kids, young kids, the best thing to do is to turn the TV off. Watch something different. If they happen to hear about it, then right-size the information and answer their questions. But unless they're asking, it's really not appropriate to bring up. But if you're looking at our tweens, you know, those kids between 5 and 12, they're probably seeing and hearing about it at school, so you're going to want to talk about it.
And I think a lot of them, Kathy was talking about this in the break beforehand, a lot of kids probably know a lot more or just as much as we do. So how do you go about talking to them directly if they do ask?
Well, again, we go back to how old they are. So if we're looking at our kids who are between 5 and 12, it's answering their questions, but not offering up a lot of information, letting them know that they and their family and friends are safe and everybody's okay, and answering the questions that they have about the incident itself. When we start to get into teenagers, that's when we need to start to process information a little bit more, because they're going to actually have more reactive feelings and a lot of questions about this. They might be scared, for instance, about, could this happen to me at a concert? Could this happen at a school event? It may bring up trauma issues related to some of the recent school shootings we've had. So really being present with them and talking things through with them and giving them some coping skills.
Is it a matter of saying, boy, I felt this way, how did you feel?
That's a great place to start. Also talking about what's normalizing. These events are very rare, but when they happen, everybody talks about it. But the reality is, we're more likely to be injured in an incident at home or an automobile accident or something like that. So when we hear about these things, they're very easy to focus on and overwhelming, but they're also very rare.
So you definitely want to validate their feelings and what they're going through and how they're processing it, but you're saying, you know, put it into perspective if they're of the right age.
Exactly. Okay. And talk with them about what are their coping strategies. For instance, this is a great time to practice mindfulness techniques. Take a moment to ground yourself, meditate, think about other things. Take a moment to talk about what are the hopeful things coming out of this. We're having a lot of conversations now about what we can do to help others, how the rescuers helped people right there and gave so much of themselves. So really drawing them to the activities that happen around this that are hopeful, as opposed to focusing on the tragedy.
Some of these kids may have been to Mandalay Bay. It's a familiar spot for families. Do you take up that subject directly?
Absolutely. Talk about what it was like and what will be different if you happen to go back there again. But also, again, go back to normalizing it and saying, you know, gosh, when we were there, we were very, very safe. And normally, these places are very, very safe.
You launched a new initiative recently to help children process things and just be mentally more healthy. Tell us about this.
So the Wellbeing Trust has launched recently some initiatives looking at teens and tweens and how we help them talk about the common things that happen every day. Getting in a fight with your parents, dealing with a fight with your friends, breaking up with your girlfriend or boyfriend, and really using celebrities and media icons like yourselves to really normalize and talk about how they dealt with that when they were kids.
So these are things we might start hearing on the radio?
Absolutely.
Put out by Providence?
Exactly. We're hoping to start launching that in the next couple of weeks to open up the conversation so that kids can not only talk with their family and their friends, but also hear from DJs and media and celebrities about how they cope with this stuff.
Just a final quick question for you. If my child is in that 12 to 17 age range, doesn't bring up Vegas, do I bring it up?
Absolutely, because you know what? They already know about it.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor, for stopping by today. We appreciate it.